Hi everyone, thanks for joining my channel today. Today I'll be talking about how to succeed as a student migrant in any country that you find yourself. Most people who have migrated into another country have mostly done that by coming in as a student and then finding their feet through work and remaining in that country and successfully contributing to the economy of wherever they find themselves. So one thing that I find very common is that some people need advice on how to start that journey. And when I mean, starting the journey, probably the end aim of going to study in another country is to probably naturalize in the country in which they are going. But either way, my video is going to discuss how you are going to succeed if you're a student and how that can actually help you in your future endeavor and how to decide to stay back if you decide to do so. First thing first, when making the decision to migrate as a student, one thing you want to do is to strategize. Strategizing is not just about having the financial means to complete your education, but also deciding on a course that is going to help you to get a job and also help you to integrate better after you study. So basically, strategizing is not just about I have the money, I can pay my tuition and I'm able to study. No, it's about deciding on what course. Some people also go as far as understanding the job market before they choose a course that they want to study on. So first thing about strategizing is understanding the country in which you are migrating to and understanding the course that helps you to integrate better into the job market. Some courses are really good, but then you have to look at the job market of the country you are going into. Because if you end up studying a course that doesn't really have much impact in the job market, then you may struggle to actually get a job after you graduate. And most times I find that international students do not necessarily want to go back to their home country to start, to go back to work in their home country because they've probably expended so much money in their study. So strategizing is understanding the job market and also understanding the best course that fits into your intended job at the end of your program. Some people would decide to go on a STEM course or health and care related jobs so that gives them an opportunity to get a better job after they have graduated. Some people actually also go for the business administrative or management related courses. Either way, first thing first, and the first thing you want to do is to understand the country you are going, understanding the job market and the demand within the job market, and understanding whether the course that you want to do actually aligns with what is in demand within the country that you are going to study in. Secondly, when you decide on the course and probably you've been given the admission, you have processed your visa and you have probably gotten to the country, you want to understand the university. Most people get withdrawn for very, very flimsy excuses. And that's because the educational system from the home country where they are coming from may not actually be the same thing as what with the new place that they are going to study. So understanding the university and the educational system, and when I say understanding the university, understanding how your assessment is going to be done, understanding how assessment is assessed, all assessment, when I mean assessment, your assignments, your exams, and things like that. So understanding how you are being assessed, understanding marking criteria for each of your modules, and understanding every support in place for you when you are in the school. Sometimes some students go out of study. They get absent when they are not meant to be absent in school. So you have to understand whether you qualify to get a study leave, or whether you qualify for some things, exceptional circumstances, an extension if you are unable to submit your assignment sometimes. So understanding the university has a whole lot involved in it. So the key thing that you need to understand is understand the support system that is available to you. So if you can navigate the university successfully and probably graduating with a minimum of a merit, because obviously if you can't achieve a distinction, then a merit should be what you should be working towards. So if you are able to graduate successfully from the university, then you can be able to focus on the job market. But one thing I advise my students to do is that before you graduate, understand the job market that you're going to be entering. Well, while at the university, every university have the career and employability unit. They help you on how to draft your resume or your CVs, and they help you on how to write a very good cover letter or personal statement. And with that, you can be able to put yourself out there for an opportunity. I also advise my students to try to start scanning through the job market before they graduate. There are some opportunities that you get before you graduate, because when students graduate, they are not only graduating in your school, they are graduating at several other schools, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. And at that point, job markets are always saturated because everyone is looking for an opportunity. So if you start your search while in school, you know how to navigate the online systems where you are going to apply for jobs. Take, for instance, people that work in health and social care, knowing how to navigate the NHS job website. People that work in academia, knowing how to navigate the jobs.ac.uk website. There are several other platforms too that you need to understand before you start to scan through the job market and applying for jobs. So those opportunities are there for you, but then you really need to understand what you're doing and how you're going to navigate the system. Another thing is, when you finish or when you graduate, typically most countries have what they call the post-study visa. That is the visa you get, or the graduate visa, the visa you get when you just concluded your education or your study. That visa is for you, like the name depicts, is for you to be able to integrate into the job that aligns with what you have studied. When you graduate, I'm sure that if you completed a BSc degree or a master's program, you do not intend to use those certificates for low-skilled jobs. And that's why when studying, it's good to have a look around, having a generic view of how the market is. And by the time you graduate, you are beginning to be more specific and more detailed in your findings. So understanding the job market is very, very key. Now, the post-study visa or the graduate visa is for you to be able to integrate into skilled level roles. And if you have 2 years to do that, then you should know that you should be purposeful and be highly focused on the kind of jobs that you'll be doing. I understand it's very, very hard. It can be very, very strenuous. People say they've applied for jobs. Some people go as far as applying for at least 10 jobs in a day. It's very, very competitive. But I must assure you that just a yes would help you to change everything. So it can be very hard to actually get the certificate of sponsorship. But with the right skill, the right search skill, and the right skill on how to respond during an interview is going to help you to succeed in getting your dream job. So coming into school through the student route is a very long process. We understand that. But if you are very, very strategic from the start and understanding where you are going at the end of your program, I am telling you, it will be very easy for you to navigate the job market. I understand that the policies that are in place now are not favorable, and most countries are now trying to limit the intake of migrants. but we have to be the type of migrant that is ready to contribute positively to the community or the country that they are going to find themselves. And in doing so is one of the things that most of us have done, probably studied within the country that we are going, and also trying to get a good job for ourselves. And not just finding any job, but finding high-skilled, impactful jobs. So as someone that has gone through the process, I will implore you, as someone that intends to come into the country by studying, or anyone who is currently studying, that it could be a long process, but you will get there if you put up your strategies right. I am telling you, you will get there. And with this, I think I've been able to touch on some things that can help any student migrant to succeed in the long run. Thank you so much for joining my channel. Like and share this video, and I'll see you in my next video.